If you operate a reverse osmosis plant, you know the warning signs of a system under stress. Your product flow starts to drop. The high-pressure pump pushes harder, sending discharge pressure surging. And suddenly, you find yourself forced to shut down for cleaning-in-place procedures far more often than scheduled. Here is what is happening inside. Those symptoms occur when the microscopic pores of your RO membranes rapidly clog with fine dirt. As the debris builds up, the water physically struggles to push through. The root cause of this failure is often invisible to the naked eye. Your feed water is carrying microscopic silt and colloidal particles that slip past your initial filtration. To stop this before it happens, we use the Silt Density Index, or SDI. This is a specialized test designed exclusively to quantify exactly how much of this suspended debris is in your feed water before it ever reaches those sensitive membranes. To run the protocol, you need a specific set of tools. You'll need an SDI testing kit with a pressure regulator and filter holder, a 500 milliliter measuring cylinder, a stopwatch, metal tweezers, and crucially, a 0.45 micron filter paper. Without taking the time to deploy these tools and measure the SDI, you are operating the plant blind. You are feeding water of unknown quality into the system, ensuring irreversible damage to your expensive RO membranes over time. This diagram shows the block schematic of a standard RO system. To get accurate feed water data, you must tap into the line right here, exactly after the micron cartridge filter and just before the high-pressure pump. Step 1 is to physically secure your SDI testing kit to this specific connection point on the feed line. Next, you will carefully open the filter holder. Using only your metal tweezers, extract a brand new 0.45 micron filter paper and place it flat inside the holder. Do not touch the filter paper with your fingers. The natural oils and microscopic dirt on human skin will instantly clog the pores, completely invalidating the tight tolerances of the test. Once the filter is locked securely in place, your setup is complete. Accurate structural positioning and strict sterility aren't optional here. If either is compromised, any data you collect from this point forward will be useless. With the kit connected, slightly open the feed valve. You'll hear the trapped air hiss out of the system. Once the air is purged, open the valve fully. Now adjust the pressure regulator to exactly 30 psi, or roughly 2.1 bar. This pressure must remain constant for the entire duration of the test. As the gauge holds 30 psi, execute two actions simultaneously. Slide the cylinder under the flow and start your stopwatch. Watch the water level rise. The moment it hits the 500 milliliter mark, stop the timer. This precise number of seconds is your initial time, which we record as TI. This baseline reading tells you the optimal speed your feed water moves through a clean, uncontaminated filter under tightly controlled pressure. Pull the full measuring cylinder away and empty it, but do not close the valve. Let the pressurized water continue to pour out of the filter holder. Start a timer and let the water flow uninterrupted for exactly 15 minutes. This time frame is a rigid standard for the SDI protocol. As those 15 minutes tick by, an invisible process is taking place. The microscopic silt and colloidal particles suspended in your feed water are actively lodging themselves into the pores of the filter. As the timer approaches 15 minutes, get ready. At the exact 15-minute mark, slide the empty measuring cylinder back under the flow and start your stopwatch one last time. Stop the watch when the water hits 500 milliliters again. This new duration is your final time, or TF. Because the filter is partially blocked by 15 minutes worth of accumulated debris, it will mathematically take longer to fill the cylinder this second time. The time difference between your pristine baseline and your restricted final reading provides the undeniable physical proof of just how heavily your feed water will foul a membrane. This equation is the universal formula used to calculate the Silt Density Index. We have our initial time, TI, our final time, TF, and our total test time, T. Let's run a calculation. Assume your initial time was 30 seconds, your final time came in at 50 seconds, and the total continuous test time was the standard 15 minutes. Step 1 is to divide your initial time by your final time to find the flow ratio. 30 divided by 50 gives us 0.60. Step 2 calculates the rate of plugging. We do this by subtracting that ratio from 1. 1 minus 0.60 leaves us with 0.40. Step 3 factors in the test duration. We divide our plugging rate by our 15-minute test window. 0.40 divided by 15 equals 0.0266. Finally, step 4 scales the decimal up into our standardized index. We multiply by 100, landing on a final SDI score of 2.66. By walking through these specific steps, you remove all the guesswork. You have successfully translated raw stopwatch data into a single concrete metric of your water's quality. Now we have to interpret that final score of 2.66. We need to measure it against the established operational baselines for reverse osmosis. This scale shows the hard industry thresholds. An SDI below 3 places you safely in the green zone. Scores between 3 and 5 enter a warning zone. An SDI of 5 is the absolute maximum limit before complete system failure becomes inevitable. Because our test resulted in a 2.66, we know exactly what is happening in the plant. The pre-filtration systems are working as designed, catching the fine silt, and the costly RO membranes are safe from premature choking. However, if you ever run this test and watch your index climb above a 3, you have to act immediately. Your first step is to aggressively audit your pre-filtration systems, checking your sand filters or micron cartridges for breaches. By embedding this specific test into your weekly routine, you secure a reliable baseline. You stop reacting to sudden pressure drops and flow issues, and permanently shift your facility into a posture